I've got 6 words for you. Bacon wrapped, brown sugar, pork loin. Smoked on the Weber Kettle. 11 words. I have 11 words for you. And that's what we're doing today. So here I've got about a 3.5 pound pork loin. I've washed it, trimmed it up a little bit, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna give this a rub that's gonna go under our bacon wrap. The rub's only gonna have 2 parts, paprika and brown sugar. So first I wanna hit this with a nice little dusting of paprika. Get it over on the fat side. Not going to worry too much about that fatty part. Now it's time for brown sugar. I'm going to get a good coating of this on here. Just going to sprinkle the rest of this on here and we'll move it around on the tray. Make sure every part gets a nice little bit of brown sugar. Now, time to wrap this in some bacon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take these pieces of bacon, lay them across here, and tuck them under. They don't need to wrap completely around. We're not gonna be turning this pork loin at all. So the underside is not something we're gonna have to be worried about having bacon covering it. So we're just gonna keep wrapping it here, tucking under a little bit. Almost down to the end here. There's our bacon wrapped brown sugar pork loin. Once it's smoked for a while on the Weber Kettle, I'll be adding a barbecue sauce glaze to it to give it a nice color on the outside of this bacon. But for now, it's just gonna go in the refrigerator maybe for an hour before we get it out there on the Weber Kettle to smoke with some nice peach wood. Okay, the kettle temp's at about 216 right now. That's still rising. It's gonna settle hopefully somewhere between 225 and 250. That's where I wanna try and keep this. Let's have a look at how I set the kettle up for this cook. So I have the slow and sear set up and I have a little cooking grid on there just to hold the pork loin a little better than straight on the cooking grate. Let's go ahead and get that pork loin on. May have to readjust some of the bacon after it's on. All right, time to get the temperature probe in. Shooting to get it as dead center as possible here. Okay, our internal meat temperature showing at 47, which I think it's probably off a little bit. I don't think I have the perfect spot. So when we do get to 145, which is the internal temperature that we're taking it to, I will be checking with the instant read thermometer, but we're close. I mean, I'm guessing it's been out of the refrigerator for 10 or 15 minutes. I'm guessing it's probably around 43, 44. So we're not too far off, but I will double check that. So let's get some peach wood on these coals. Start making some good smoke. Looking good. Got good flame on the peach wood. Time to get the lid on and get smoking. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be taking this to 145 degrees internal, which is the recommended temperature for cuts of pork like this. But at about 115 degrees, 120 degrees, I'm going to glaze it with some barbecue sauce that's been thinned out with orange soda. So I'll bring you back when it's time to glaze this bacon-covered brown sugar pork loin. All right, we're at 115 degrees internal. Let's see how we're doing. We are looking really good. All right, let's get some glaze on this. Some of this good sauce on here. And get the ends too here if I can. Boy, this smells good. Nothing left to do but get the lid back on and let this finish smoking. All right, we are at 145 internal. Let's check this. That's not a bad looking pork loin covered with bacon. I want to double check the temperature here using the instant read. Just slide in. Yeah, that's showing 145.8 right there. I'm guessing it's going to be higher down at the end. 148, yeah, we're good. I'm going to get this inside, have a taste. All right, let's see if I can get under this and not lose bacon. Oh, looks like we got it. All right, here is our bacon wrapped brown sugar pork loin. I'm gonna try and cut into this between the pieces of bacon so we can save all these pieces of bacon for eating. We'll see. So here goes. I go right here. Little one at the bottom there. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Let's move these little floppy pieces of bacon out of the way. I know where those are going later. Let's see. Nice and juicy, yeah. Pork loin is one of those things that smokes really well. It doesn't take a lot of time. This took about 2 hours, and this was a 3.5 pound pork loin with all this bacon insulation on it. But it retained its moisture. I'm betting it's gonna taste pretty darn good, and that's what I'm gonna get to now because it's time to taste. Now, if you make this and you cut it, bacon's gonna fall off of it almost all the time. Just reassemble it before you eat. Wow. Love that brown sugar sweetness on the outside of this. And it marries really well with that bacon. And I think this bacon was a hardwood smoked bacon, if I remember correctly. So it has some flavoring and it pairs perfectly with this. So when you think the prep time on this was 15 minutes to rub it and wrap it with bacon, an hour in the fridge, 2 hours to cook, it's gonna be gone in 15 minutes. Now you could do this with a tenderloin. It's gonna cook a lot quicker, so the bacon's not gonna have quite as much time to crisp up and cook through. So if that's the case, you might wanna use a thinner slice of bacon on a tenderloin. The peach wood smoke goes really well with this. I think fruit woods go well with pork, just about across the board, with ribs, with pork, but anything like that. But a tenderloin or a loin like this is a little bit more delicate, but that fruit wood smoke works really well with the more delicate cuts of pork like this. I could keep talking, I could say lots more things, but I got a honkin' piece of pork here with a big old thick piece of bacon on it, and I'm just gonna eat it for you.